Hey guys, okay, so you need the 4 core things to focus on in order to get your business moving in the right direction. And this is what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. So the Clarity Wheel is a strategy tool that really helps you dig down into the core elements of what you're basing your strategy around. And so many businesses don't have one of these, which just is insane, because it's so easy to get your business moving in the right direction if you know what these things are and you deliver on them on a regular basis. So I'm not talking about a strategy that you write, which is a little one-page business plan that you never look at again. I'm talking about the actual things that make a difference and move your business forward. Now, I've run this with so many people and got so many people results that I can tell you it works if you're willing to put the effort in. If you're not willing to put the effort in, this is not the thing for you. This is not like a silver bullet or a quick overnight success. This is about putting in the work and actually getting the results. Now, it's a simple tool, and I'm going to ask you some questions during this video that I want you to answer and really nail down each of these 4 core areas. So I'm going to show you, I did a little drawing for you. So this is what the Clarity Wheel is all about. So you've got your customer, your offer, your uniqueness, and your brand. Now, when we're going through this and we're looking at each of these different core elements, it's about delving really deep into what each of these mean for you. Now, we're going to start with a customer. And the first thing I want you to do, grab a piece of paper if you don't already, draw yourself one of these. I mean, my circle's skew, yours doesn't have to be round. And make sure that you're answering these questions on that piece of paper so that you have a strategy to stick on your wall and actually look at to move your business forward. So first thing, customer. I want you to tell me on that piece of paper, who are the customers that you absolutely adore working with that bring you complete joy? So who are the group of people that you would choose to work with time and time again, that would always be the people that you are excited to work with, that make your life really easy, that just make the whole process just amazing? So write down who those people are, write down what they're all about, and then think about actually who are the people that would get the biggest transformation from what you can offer. So who are the people that would get the biggest transformation from what you have to offer? Okay, if you need a pause the video now, answer your customer questions, and then we'll come back and we'll look at your offer as soon as you're ready. Okay, so your offer is really exciting. I love this part, and I'm going to do a completely separate video on going into this in like tons of detail. But to start with, you need to figure out your core offer and what you want to put out into the world. So I want you to think about what are the things that you absolutely love and the things that you can share with other people, that you can teach people, that you can help people with. And remember that when people are looking at buying anything, they're buying for 2 core reasons. So either they're buying because what you offer gives them joy, entertainment, fun, escapism, etc. Or they're buying because what you offer fixes a problem. It makes their life easier, more bearable. It fixes a problem for them. So think about those 2 core camps and think about what is your product or your service or your program or your online course or whatever it is you're doing. What is the problem that you're solving, or what is the joy that you're bringing, or even better, what's both? And that will make a really good understanding of actually what is your offer that you're giving to people and putting out into the world. We're going to have a separate video, I'll link to it below, on the value ladder, which is how you then build out your offer to increase your average order value for your customers, which is so important. But we'll look at that separately. That's a whole nother video. So while you're thinking about your offer, again, if you need a pause now, and then we'll come back and we'll look at your uniqueness in a moment. Okay, so your uniqueness, and don't tell me you're not unique. You are. Everyone is. But your uniqueness is all about looking at your journey. So every single person will have a unique journey and they'll have a unique end goal that they're trying to achieve. So what's your journey first? So on your piece of paper, in your uniqueness circle, write down what was your kind of biggest aha moment in your life where you decided to start doing the job, the service, the product, the thing that you do now. Like, what got you to that point? What was that biggest sort of moment of realization that made you start your own business? And then I want you to write down, what was the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome on this journey? And this could be going like all the way back to like right at the beginning of your journey, maybe even when you were a kid, or this could be something much more recent, like what did you have to overcome? And it might be that you have multiple challenges. So like for me, I always talk about my dyslexia, that dyslexia mindset where I'd been told for so long I wasn't going to amount to anything, you know, I would never be successful, you know, I'd struggle to hold down a job. Funny that. And actually that mindset kind of set in for so many years. And when I finally cracked that mindset and thought, actually, my dyslexic brain is what makes me so bloody awesome, it completely changed my perspective and completely changed what I could unlock in my life. And actually, you need to think about, like, what are those moments? What are those challenges? What are those things that you can tap into to help your customers see the journey that they can go on? Like, I can tell people that there is no mindset that you cannot get over as an entrepreneur to run a successful business. I know, I've done it. Like, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, it's just so true. And that's the thing. Like what are those moments? And until I actually sat down and looked at my uniqueness and looked at my story and looked at all of that information, I didn't even realize that that stuff was there, a block, a story, you know, a thing that I could share. So your two unique factors. Your first one is, what was your aha moment that made you start? And then your second one is, what is the biggest challenge you've had to overcome on your journey? Your next stage of uniqueness is about looking at what your outcome is. So what would be success for you? Now, I really want you to sit with that question and answer it honestly. What would success look like for you? What amount of money do you need to earn to feel successful? What type of lifestyle do you need to live to feel successful? How many hours will you be working in 2 years' time when your business is successful? What does that actually, honestly, genuinely look like for you? And you really need to answer this question, because if you don't understand what you're trying to build and you don't understand what you're trying to achieve, it's really, really hard to build a strategy. So go through, think about it. Again, pause the video now if you need to, and then we'll come back and we'll look at your brand, because it's just amazing. Okay, so your brand. Now you've gone through, you've done your customer, you've done your offer, you've done your uniqueness. It's now time to look at your brand. And the key thing about your brand is it has to be consistent. So your brand consistency needs to be in your message, it needs to be in your delivery, it needs to be in your images, it needs to be in your colors, it needs to be in everything. And what you'll see being, you know, on whether it is any of my social media platforms, so whether you're watching this on YouTube, whether you're watching this on LinkedIn or Facebook or on my website or wherever you are, you'll see a consistency in the way that I write things, in the colors that I use, in the phrases that I use, in the headlines that I use, in the images that I use. And actually that is really, really important. When somebody sees my coloring and my fonts and my logo and the certain words and phrases that I use to describe my business, like for me, it's the blueprint to business success. I love a blueprint. I think it's like the best thing. So rather than just calling it a business plan, I call it a blueprint, and that's like my language. And it's really important that actually when people see that, they think of me. They think, oh yeah, that links back to who we link it to. And it's really, really important. And you'll know big brands that do this really well. So there's brands that like always use the same song, or always use the same like characters. So I always think about the Churchill dog, where they like nodding Churchill, yeah. But like for me, when I was growing up back in South Africa, it was there's a beer called Castle, and there was an advert that always used to come on, and they used to always play the same song. And the song, when I literally heard the song this weekend walking on the seafront down here in Bexhill, and I instantly was like, oh my gosh, I really want a castle. Like, that's what good, consistent brand advertising is all about. And we can do that as small businesses and entrepreneurs. But for a lot of us, we don't. A lot of us, we don't have an online presence. We don't go out on social media. We don't post regularly. So building a really strong brand presence is really important as well. Now, I'm going to link below to the video on the value ladder, because that's really important. But I'm also going to put a link below to my ebook. And the ebook goes into more detail about each of these different elements, but it also looks at things like social media and like getting online and looking at different people and influences and stuff like that. So if you're just starting your journey, or even if you're a couple of years in and you just want to get a little refresh and make sure that you're doing everything in the right way, please download it. It'll be so good. It's absolutely free. It's just for you. Like, you can get your access to it, and it'll be amazing to hear your thoughts on this video. If you want to share any of your quadrants or any of your answers to any of the questions, please do below. And yeah, like and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you soon.